Davante Adams should be suspended for 1 game and fined for his actions after the game. And I'm a Davante Adams fan. I don't apologize for it. I believe that Davante Adams is the best receiver in the NFL. At his best, he had multiple years in Green Bay where he produced at a high level. And Davante Adams is a man that has high character. I had a lot of people in the NFL who I know, who I've spoken with about Davante Adams, who know Davante personally, and Davante Adams has never had an off-the-field issue. He has high character. This is not to assassinate his character at all. This was a one-time incident where Davante Adams was emotionally frustrated because his team is 1-4 on the season, just bumped into Hunter Renfrow on a route where the Raiders had an opportunity to get a first down and continue the game. He was frustrated, but you have to be able to control your emotions despite the outcome of a football game. And Davante Adams, in this moment, he made a mistake. And he has to be fined, and he has to be suspended for 1 game. The NFL, they got to send a message. Because if we're going to talk about fans and them not touching players and not physically trying to put their hands on players in any kind of capacity, players in frustration also cannot touch fans or touch photographers or, media members. Despite you being upset, you still cannot put your hands on innocent bystanders walking off the field. Can't do it, Davante. I love you, but you can't do it. How much on the fine, though? They got to fine him substantially. It got to be a substantial fine. It got to be a substantial fine. It got to be a heavy fine. They got to send a message to Davante that this is not to be tolerated. So initially I said no suspension. The more I think about it and the more I looked at the video, you got to suspend Davante for a game. Got to sit him down. Can't have this. It's a one-time incident. He immediately apologized in his post-game press conference, and he also apologized on Twitter. But this cannot happen. Because imagine, too, I thought about this. That was a male photographer who Davante shoved. Imagine if that was a female. Imagine if that was a female who he shoved on accident, because he was frustrated, obviously. Imagine if that was a female. I understand. I get it. You frustrated in the moment, fresh off your 4th loss of the season. This was your best game of the season so far, and your team had a chance to upset a division rival in the Kansas City Chiefs. I understand why Davante was frustrated in that moment. By the way, he's used to winning in the NFL. Davante Adams was in Green Bay, and he has went to NFC Championship games. He's won at a high level in the NFL. He ain't used to losing. Davante is in unforeign territory. He's in unforeign territory. And right now, Davante Adams misses Green Bay, and Green Bay misses Davante Adams. I watched that game the other day, that Giants-Packers game we'll talk about here in a bit. Packers miss Davante Adams, and Davante Adams misses Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. And to back that up, let me give you some numbers for the season. This is Davante Adams this year. This is completion percentage when targeting Davante Adams. This year with Derek Carr, it's 55% completion percentage. With Aaron Rodgers, last year, it was a 75% completion percentage. Also, last year, receptions per game, Adams averaged 7.7 receptions per game. This year, he's averaging 5.8 receptions per game. So, Davante misses Aaron. Now, listen, this is Aaron Rodgers. Throws of 25-plus air yards this season. Rodgers is 2-15 with an interception. Davante Adams got 2 receptions for 2 touchdowns for over 25 yards. So that just tells you how much Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams both miss each other. And so far, Derek Carr, he hasn't been able to get the ball to Davante Adams the way we thought he was going to be able to do coming into the season. Even in this game, Davante did have over 120 receiving yards for the game, but he only had 3 receptions. I'm used to Davante Adams having 8-9 receptions per game. So that's something to keep an eye on as the season goes along. But I do believe the NFL is going to sit Davante Adams down for a game.